So, I talk about change all the time. If you've been listening to my YouTube videos here or read any of my articles, you know about that. But what is change? My work is about the people side of change, the ways we lead ourselves and others through change. Change leadership, which is the people side of change, is the flip side of the change management coin. Change management focuses on the project plan, schedules, resources, and so on. Change leadership focuses on the people and their reactions and how they respond to change. But what is change, and why do we care about the answer? Why is it important to understand the answer? Well, change is a reaction, or I should probably say that change, the decision to change, is a reaction, and it's a reaction to something. That something could be any number of things. It could be a significant economic or market factor. It could be a leader's insecurity or their shiny object syndrome. Or, it could be a perception of a new opportunity, unhealthy cultural shifts, and so on. On a personal level, maybe it's a health challenge, a new baby, a death in the family, a move to a new city. You get my point. The point is, change isn't an isolated entity that just happens or that we just decide to do. It's a reaction to something. Now, why is this important? Because the decision to create change should not be made lightly or hastily. There's a real risk, and we can all point to examples, right, of knee-jerk change as a reaction to something that appears threatening or urgent or maybe like a shiny object. Knee-jerk change is seldom, if ever, the best solution. Knee-jerk change often leads, well, let's just remind ourselves of that very old saying that haste makes waste, right? When we rush into creating a change in a quick reaction to something, even something that really truly is urgent, we can end up solving symptoms instead of the actual root cause, the real problem. And that, of course, means the real problem is still there, and it will be rearing its ugly head again, probably in the very near future. Now, on the flip side of that, there is also a real risk, and we can again point to examples of avoiding necessary change, putting on, blinders, nope, can't see it, failing to respond to a problem. I could list any number of companies that no longer exist because of this failure to respond and create a necessary change. So, when we take the time to think things through and realistically evaluate the risks and consider our options, including really getting down to what the actual thing is that we're reacting to, not the symptoms, but the real thing, we have a much better chance of positive, lasting success. Digging into the real problem, setting aside those symptoms, and going for the root cause takes some time and effort. Albert Einstein is reported to have said, if I had an hour to solve a problem, I'd spend 55 minutes thinking about the problem and 5 minutes thinking about the solution. Maybe he said it, maybe he didn't, but it's advice that we kind of want to pay attention to, right? So, do you have examples of a time when you or the company you worked for just chased symptoms in a reactivity sort of knee-jerk mode instead of seeking out the root problem? Or maybe you're trying to figure out the root cause of something right now so you can create the right kind of change. Let me know in the comments. And of course, let me know if you have any questions. I think if you go back and look at my videos, you can see that I always come back to answer questions. And of course, do remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell so you'll be notified when I release new videos, and then go forth. Figure out what your change is really responding to so you'll have a better chance of succeeding, and take care.